Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us today. It is the last week of February 2018. This is our weekly update. But we're not going to talk to you this week about how crazy the Austin real estate market is or what a seller's market it's going to be in 2018. We're coming to you today to discuss self-showing boxes. We have transitioned to self-showing boxes for some of our properties, and especially all of our properties that are going vacant and ready. So what are self-showing boxes first off? Well, you guys are all used to the 80s when people had combination boxes, right? If you didn't have the combo, you couldn't get in. And if you had the combo, you could get in forever and it wasn't safe. So those transitioned into the realtor boxes, which everybody's pretty familiar with now. Those boxes are accessed by realtors from either their smartphones or from a separate device, which can be wireless or Bluetooth or something of that nature, depending upon the city. And if the realtor hasn't paid their dues or doesn't have their box, you can't get into there, you can't get the key. Well, that's great when it works, and when it doesn't, that's a problem. But the biggest problem has been that not many realtors want to show properties for lease because there's no money in it. And number two, tenants who want to see a property on a weekend now have to call a realtor, wait for them to reply, and hope that they can get into the property and schedule. So about 3 years ago, there are three major companies across the US that have come out with self-showing boxes. So what is a self-showing box? Once again, a self-showing box is an accessible key box that a applicant or a potential tenant can access from their smartphone or from a code. So in theory, some agents historically would say, hey, I don't want to show the house, so let's just give you the code and hope things went well. And the owners didn't know any better and it wasn't real safe or secure. Well, that's kind of been eliminated with these. The owner's biggest concern on these boxes is who in the world is going to be going through my house? Well, I can tell you that we as a company at 1836 have waited over 3 years to see how this was going to pan out. I personally was very reluctant to embrace this technology. And what I've found is through statistical analysis and through market research, now that there's been history out there, it's the way everything is going to go. So if you're an owner and you have a little anxiety about this, that's okay. You're not alone. But I'm telling you right now, if you want your property to lease, the consumer has changed. The marketplace has changed. We can't do business like we used to do 20 years ago and expect that to turn out great results. We've got to be on the forefront of the trends and deliver what the consumer wants. So back to the self-showing boxes. How do they work? Well, a tenant can pull up, they can find your information online, they can get it off the sign, whatever it may be, they can get that information. And through their smartphone, they can text for a reply. With that reply, we as a company have qualification questions set. Now, different companies can do it differently, but those questions may be like, when are you going to move in? What are your pets like? What is your income? All these different questions before they ever even really get a response from us. So once they answer those, they'll have to upload the copy of their valid government-issued ID. Once we have all the information, some companies even validate them through credit cards. So there's a second form of ID. Now we know who these people are, where they are. We have more contact information than any realtor ever gets from anyone else. And we've pre-qualified them. We're not just sending an agent out there so that they can maybe look through your medicine cabinet. So first off, these are on vacant properties only. These are not to be used on occupied properties. So if the property is vacant, what are they really going to damage or steal? Nothing. To be honest with you, nothing. If these people wanted to steal something, they would not swipe their ID. They would not upload a copy of their ID. They would not answer questions. They would come back at 2 a.m. and kick the door in. So let's be real honest with you right now. They could track a little dirt in just like anybody else, but that's about the extent of what they're going to do because we know who they are. So the risk is really reduced. So the question becomes, do we need to even use these? Is this something that's effective in the marketplace? Well, we did an internal analysis over all the properties that we leased from 2017, and we were, as a company, really kind of astonished. We believed that getting these properties on the market early was productive and it was the right thing to do. And boy, the more showings we can have and the more people going through there, the better, right? It's exactly the opposite of what we found when we looked at the data instead of our guts. So our guts told us more is better. The truth is it wasn't. 82% of the properties that we leased in 2017 only leased once vacant and ready. So all those people that we drove through the properties that were occupied, harassing tenants, scheduling showings, even when the make ready was in process, was completely unproductive on a statistical basis. 82%, almost all the properties leased once vacant and ready. Why is that? Well, first off, if the tenants have their personal belongings in there and I'm walking through, I can't see myself in there, and it may not be that clean as well. The tenants may not be that nice. I want out of there as quick as possible. What about during the make-ready process? Well, who knows when that's going to be done? I mean, yes, you're painting today, but How do I trust you that that's going to be done tomorrow or on time for my move-in? But if I walk into that property and it's vacant, ready, smells clean, everything looks pretty, even if I tracked a little dirt in there or a couple leaves, I know that can be cleaned. And I'm ready to apply today, especially if it's Saturday afternoon and I got into that property when I wanted, promptly answer the questions, and I can apply online. Because some companies still make you fill out paperwork and deliver it. We don't. As a policy, 1836 takes all our payments online now. We have all online applications. So if you're an owner and you want to lease your property, vacant and ready, self-showing box, and get those people in there that are qualified, willing to share their information with you, and want to apply today. You don't want to miss them because they're not coming back around. They're going to find another place and they're going to be gone. If you're sitting on the market vacant 30 days, you're going to wonder what happened. Self-showing boxes are really the way to go. So I can't say I love them. I can't say that they gut check and are just perfect for me, but I can tell you that the evidence shows that across the nation, the level of damage or problems has been so minuscule that it even makes the ads on Craigslist and everything on Facebook look huge by comparison. I mean, we've heard of a few incidents nationwide, and these are really being embraced by all the leaders in the management industry. So don't be surprised if in the next 10 years this is the only way you can get into a property, because agents simply don't have enough money that they're getting compensated for to drive out there on a Sunday. And don't be surprised if you use these yourself in future sales, because sometimes you want to look at a property for sale, and do you really want to have to sit down with an agent before you see that sale property? Now, we won't open that discussion because I know there's a lot of agents that are going to be upset about that, but the truth is these boxes are going to be invading a lot of spaces because they work, and the evidence is there. So if you're an owner and you're concerned about these, rest assured, we've done the statistics, we have done the research, and if we didn't believe in them and know that they produce, we wouldn't use them. So I'm with you. It's a little different. The world is changing, the consumers are changing, and we've got to stay up with them. So trust us, we've got your back covered, and we're looking for the greatest return on your investment with the least risk. That's our job. Thanks for your time today. This is Matt again, 1836 Property Management, beautiful Austin, Texas. If we can help you with anything, give us a call, 512-994-4323, or see us online, 1836propertymanagement.com. Thanks.